And you know what's crazy, actually? So we did share this clip. You can't just go up and play like 128 BPM tech house the whole time. And I think, yeah, you definitely used to. And people been going bonkers on this, bro.
Saying like, fuck you, I do that every
like,
weekend.
You're a wedding DJ. How'd you go from 133 to 170? Welcome to the jungle, bro. So I've had like some clips go viral and stuff, but nothing that's like, I don't feel like that's very controversial, to be honest.
Not even a little bit.
Apparently it is. I'm like, how do I turn off comments? Because it's so annoying. People still, it's 3 months ago, dude.
Yeah.
So
that, for me, that's what makes anything that does well on my Instagram is that the haters.
It's
the topics.
A little frustrating.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so...
Let's go, champ. I'm excited. I'm ready. My boy is back. Redemption shot last episode was it was great.
It was
but
great.
Also a little squirrely. There was some outside influences that I don't know that we needed, but we're back.
We're back. I'm happy to be here, Strat. It's a fucking pleasure, bro. And I gotta say, man, once again, podcaster to podcaster, like, mad respect. Like, this podcast is incredible. I know how much work goes into it, and it's amazing. It's so funny. It's entertaining. It's informative. Like, all the clips are really, really great. And respect, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah. I have to give at least 50%, 50% to Diamond Cut.
Shout out to the boy Diamond Cut.
Makes it look good, sound good. He pushes me to be better. I mean, this motherfucker pulled up 3 hours early today and was like, all right, let's like clean this room up and rearrange your entire life.
You're kidding. Yeah, you're like, bro, it's Monday.
Yeah. After the longest weekend and the longest Sunday, like,
oh,
but
my
whatever,
God.
It's all good.
That's amazing. He's part of the team.
100%.
And he also knows that like the output has his name on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I can't have the host of the podcast I produce
exactly
looking a little raggedy. So
that's right, dude.
Yeah, so I got to start my diet soon, is what he's trying to say.
No, you look great.
I appreciate it.
You've been losing a lot of weight over the past year.
Well, I've been gaining a lot of weight. I arrived to Chicago from Houston with at least 2 abs.
Yeah.
You could see the top 2.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's great.
And now I got tits.
You got tits. You got tits again. Yeah. What's the heaviest you've ever been and what's the lightest you've ever been?
I was pushing 3. I was like 280 something, 90 something. Had to be 2015, 16 when I was like just at the peak of my party boy nudes, insanity.
Right.
Just fat as sweaty. I'm wearing shirts from Target. My beard is scraggly, and I got like 4 bitches on my shoulders.
Yeah, you have absolutely no routine in life. It's like 1 hour at a time is the best that you can do.
Yeah.
And what's the lightest you've ever been?
For sure, when I was in Houston, March of 2021, I want to say.
Yeah.
I dieted so hard. I went on a mission. It was after the COVID shit and the whole like battle of just inject yourself with medicine and then like, no, be healthy and like you'll be fine. And like, I was like, let me see how good I can really feel.
Yep.
Let me see how healthy I can get and how good I can feel.
Yeah.
And it felt amazing. I looked amazing. It was just like the most incredible time. But even with all that knowledge, I destroyed it, which is the craziest part of the whole thing.
I get it, because it feels so good to kind of throw it away sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I also feel like you get into a zone where you're doing something for so long, it just becomes the baseline.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh my God, I feel amazing. I look amazing, this and that. And then a month goes by and it's just like, oh, everything's amazing. I've been feeling amazing. I've been looking great, all this shit. I don't even remember that it doesn't feel good to eat a piece of pizza. Let me eat some pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were far gone then.
Yeah.
Damn,
you forget that it feels like shit, and then you do it and you remember.
Yeah.
And then for me, I usually am just like, whatever, I'll keep doing it.
You'll never go back though.
I have to, bro. I have to. We got Cabo coming up for New Year's Eve, and like I need to look and feel good. That's
what drives me to be healthy too. I think about like 3 to 6 months in advance, like what's something that I want to look good for. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to look good, like the vanity aspect of health. Because when you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. Deion Sanders.
That is a fact. I've never heard that, but it is 100% a fact. Like when I am feeling and looking good, if I'm in that DJ booth and I feel like I look like the fucking man, I'm playing a better set.
I ain't gonna lie.
If I'm feeling good and my brain is working better, I'm in that DJ booth and I'm playing a better set.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
I agree, bro. I went shopping this weekend, and I was supposed to just a little light shopping, but I'm trying shit on. I'm like, damn, I look good in this. Like, what else we got here? You know what I mean? And it's a great feeling.
It really is.
And then when you have a partner that like calls you on your shit and then also tells you when you look good, it's a very humbling and honest like experience for yourself where you're like, okay, like I am capable of this when I thought I might not be able to.
Yeah. Yeah. I just gotta get. It's like for me, it just clicks at some point. I could try a million times. All right, today I'm gonna start. I'll last for a week and then I'll revert.
Yeah,
and then I'll be like, all right, today I'm gonna start. I'll last for a day and then I'll revert. But there's one time that it stays. I'm like, today I'm gonna start, and then 2 months later I'm still going. I'm like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
It's just like it clicks sometimes and sometimes it doesn't.
Consistency is key, brother.
Yeah, it's bad. Speaking of consistency, you're out here consistently crushing it. And I want to know what you've been up to. I know the Music Nexus is coming up, but unfortunately this pod will be out after it's done. So we'll
which is crazy to be in that timeline right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I've been promoting this shit for 11 months. Olivia and I just posted today, like, how it actually came about was sort of a natural conversation like this, where we're like, man, there's nothing in the music industry in the U.S. where you can go out and meet people on a professional level and actually like get to know people and learn and collaborate, because the club scene, the festival scene, the nightlife scene, it's really hard to actually like meet people in a genuine way. That's why the podcast is a great way to spend time with people. That's why I started Sherman the Booth. So now to fast forward 11 months of us meeting once a week minimum, talking about our goals, like investing time, money, blood, sweat, tears, and now to be on a podcast saying, by the time this come out, it'll be over, is crazy. But yeah, consistency has definitely been a thing that I've always taken very seriously, because it's really hard to be consistent. But it's just like we were talking about, bro. Once you get into a rhythm, there's something in the back of my head, myself, that's holding myself accountable. I think it's like my conscience, but I don't really know for sure.
It's the Jew brain.
It's the Jew brain for sure. It's, hey, you need to do better, you fucking putz.
Yeah. So,
consistency has been everything. And just to harp on Nexus for a sec is like, there's been a lot of ups and downs, bro. Like we launched it in May. We did a pre-sale. That's 6 months before it was supposed to go down, right? I've hosted events. Not like this, though. Olivia's never hosted an event. She's been to events. And buying tickets is a whole new thing in this landscape these days, especially anything that's music related, whether it's a show or whether it's a conference, whatever the fuck it is. So we're trying to, for the first time, convince people to believe in themselves, to say, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z if you really want to, level up your career, whatever it is. So for the past 6 months, we've been basically selling and telling people, making them believe in themselves, sometimes more than they actually already do, right? Like reaching out to people via email, text, calls, in person. I've gone to open deck events. I've gone out on the streets. I've gone on podcasts. We've interviewed ourselves. I literally interviewed myself because I'm like, I don't think anyone wants to talk about Chicago Music Nexus anymore. So I'll talk to myself about it, which was pretty funny.
How did you do that, by the way? Did you sit there and record one angle and ask all the questions and then go over to the other side and
it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. No, what I do is I start as the interviewer, right? Like you. And then I ask the questions, which is obviously easy to sort of drill out. And then I do a bunch of like facial reactions, which is really an insane thing. I should share the fucking B-roll of me just being like, wow, Sherm, okay. And it kind of just happened naturally. I have interviewed myself before, and it's kind of funny. You kind of start talking shit to yourself. Like I was like, all right, Sherm, like, this doesn't mean to make you sound old, but you've been in the industry for double-digit years, right? And then my response was, all right, buddy, like you got gray hair too. You're not fucking hiding any of that shit. And that was rude, So that was really fun. And that's been a good thing that's come out of Nexus is I've been challenged creatively a lot. we've been challenged in a lot of ways, but without challenge, you're never going to overcome and go outside your comfort zone and grow. So that's been one of the most rewarding parts for me and Olivia. But now to be here and have less than 10 tickets left to sell and see so many people that are excited about it and be days away, it's really an amazing feeling. So we're super stoked.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, dude. You're coming, right?
I'm coming for sure.
All right, good.
The No Good Boys, I believe, land at 4. What time does it start?
You don't need to be there till 7.
It starts at 7. Okay, cool.
The networking portion, which we want you to be there for.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like the party at the end.
And I want to bring them, which would be cool too.
Yeah, dude, they're killing it.
Yeah, and then they got their show, but it is a little bit of a drag that we're talking about all this, and it's going to be over by the time it comes out. But there will for sure be another one next year, right? I mean, I'm assuming it's going to go really well, and you're going to redo it next year. So if you're hearing this, you just know that it was awesome.
Absolutely. Fucking hit us up. Follow us, because we're already talking. I actually have a call with Olivia tonight about it. We were talking about it last week. What's next? Because you got to think in advance. And regardless of really how it went, we always were thinking long term. We believe in the long term vision. So next year is going to be a lot of different things. There will be a Nexus, like what we have at La Felucia, probably at a bigger space with bigger sponsors, because it was really hard. Like I said, you're making people believe in this. That's why it was like sales. Literally, I'm like selling a dream here, for the first time. Believe in me.
Yeah.
But what we want to do next year is like quarterly activations. So whether it's like a panel somewhere at a venue, or artist interviews in front of an audience, or intro to DJing with someone like you, or like a touring DJ, right? Like there's so many different variations of education that we want to bring and value to people. And so we want to do quarterly activations. We want to do live podcasting, where Olivia does her podcast or I do my podcast. And then it all sort of continues to build and roll into one Chicago Music Nexus. So honestly, there's so many different things we can do. It's an underserved market, and I think it's really good for the community and businesses as well. A lot of the talent buyers and promotion companies off nights, to bring in these touring DJs or entrepreneurs or whatever. Have people come in, buy drinks, get tickets, meet people. It's great for Chicago. It's great for the U.S. dance market as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick. I'm excited.
Thanks, bro.
Been really fun to watch you guys come up with it. I remember seeing the first time that you posted about it, and then just watching all the content that's come out from it. And it's always fun to follow someone like that and just see what they do, and then go to the event, and it's fucking sick. And I'm pumped. I'm excited.
It's gonna be dialed, dude. Like, it's gonna be fucking dialed. We've had a lot of different Chicago brands get involved and give us their time and donations and ideas. So the people that we partner with are mostly Chicago based. You have people like Sensophonics, who does the ear moldings in Chicago, the only audiologist that's actually like an earplug company as well in the United States. So they're legit.
Is that where you got your earplugs from?
Yeah, they're legit.
Like recently?
I got them in the past year.
Okay. Mine are like 10 years old.
You should get them.
I have them from Sensophonics.
Oh, you do?
Like 10 years ago.
Oh, they're 10 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never going to need to replace them.
Yeah, because yours look new. I saw you wearing them at the Big Bipper.
You can tell they were new. They ain't fucking all the earwax and shit.
Yeah, and they're like black. Mine are like clear and yellow and disgusting. Yeah.
Why'd you get them clear?
I don't know. I just went there and said, architect told me like, yo, you go get these earplugs. And I was like, all right, I'll get when I was first coming up, I just did whatever anybody told me. Anybody that was like in a position that I wanted to be in. Yeah. They told me something. I was like, all right, I'm in.
Did you ever get bad advice?
Yeah. I think it came to a point where like, I feel like my main role coming into the DJ scene in Chicago, in downtown River North, like nightclub scene, for me was to fill the void of someone who was leaving a spot, right? Yeah. Like he wanted to he got the opportunity to go to Paris Club on Fridays. So he was leaving Stout, and he wanted to put me into Stout to take his place.
This was what year?
2014, 15.
Okay. Yeah, that's when I just moved to Chicago, bro.
Yeah. And so that was like my main role, was to like play that part. Like be here for me. I don't necessarily want you going and DJing everywhere. Like, be here.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of need you here. Yep. I'll get you paid. this and that. And then, but after a while, it was like, all right, well, I'm trying to like, now I'm here and I'm feeling stuck. I want to go play here. I want to go play here. Like I'm trying to build my brand.
Yeah.
And there was like a little battle at some point, but I think it's like healthy. It's like, it's part of the game. It's part of the experience, right?
Yeah. The Padawan becomes the master, dude.
Yeah. Like that's still my boy. Obviously, I don't think he was holding me back by any means, but like it just got to that point where it had to be like, I mean, I remember it was when Bottle Blonde was opening and they wanted to have me do Thursdays. And he was like, bro, I think it's a bad look. Like, Biz is gonna get mad if you start. I'm playing all the parlors at this point. I'm doing Stout, and Parlor's obviously a pizza place. He's like, think about it, bro. You're going to play another pizza place. Like Bottle Blonde was also a pizza place. He's like, it's competition. Like he's not gonna like that. And I had to make the decision to be like, well, I mean, whatever. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. But this is what I'm doing, and I think that was the right decision.
Definitely was, bro. Holy shit, Bottle Blonde in his heyday was like nothing else.
It was
out of this fucking world. So that wasn't the first Bottle Blonde, was it?
No, the first one is still in Arizona.
Still in Arizona. Okay. And that one's fucking crazy. You played that one too?
Yeah.
I just remember coming to Chicago, and you might remember this DJ's name. He was a black dude. He had a mohawk, and it was like crazy. He had like crazy
Rock City.
Yeah, Rock City. DJ Rock City.
Yeah.
So I graduated IU and I come into Chicago. I'd opened for these touring DJs, whatever, that, I bring all my frat and sorority friends and they're like, yeah, of course you can play. You can bring 100 people, And like, I was okay. I wasn't great. I was an EDM DJ, right? And I come to Chicago thinking, man, it's going to be a walk in the park. I've opened for Blau. I've opened for Audion at my frat, And I remember going up to Rock City. He was at Bottle Blonde. Dude, I did not do a good job of enjoying it. And I was with my buddy, and he was like, dude, go up, just like see if you can get his information, tell him who you are. And I was hammered too. And I was like, hey, what's up, man? I'm sure I'm trying to become a DJ in Chicago. He's like, shut the fuck up. Like, get out of the booth. And I mean, pretty much the experience for me was it was not a good way to approach. And eventually I did actually get his card like another night. I went in like earlier and I realized, okay, you don't go in at the peak hour and introduce yourself, obviously. So I just remember in those days, I was like, damn, Chicago DJs are fucking cut different though. And this was like the open format scene. And that's when I got more involved in the open format scene. Started working with the Music Trust and Treble Monsters and just all of those OGs, you know what I mean? You're still running the game too. But I found it a lot more challenging in the beginning because of the level of talent and the amount of time that goes into getting those spots too. And also how people like you would hold down those residencies for good reason, So I remember that's what connected me with Flynn and Max Quinones. And I realized, I was like, God damn, these guys are fucking good ass DJs, dude. Like I got a lot to work on. And those days of really being challenged again have made me a very, very, very good DJ today. I'm humble enough to say that. Like when I go and I play all these cities around the US, I really, really prepare the sets, right? I dig into these playlists from years ago. And it's those days where I really worked hard to find good music to try and be unique as an open format DJ, when traditionally most people are playing Club Killer's top 100 shit, You can't do that.
Nope.
It's the easy way out. But I got comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and I still feel like I can be that DJ today. And that is the DJ that I am today. So, yeah, dude, like when I think back to those early Bottle Blonde days and just playing at W hotels and Fremont and fucking Stout and where else? I can't even remember. Graffiti. Remember Graffiti?
Dude, yes. Actually, someone at Propa's crib last night was talking to me about Graffiti, who I'm sure you know. She's the girlfriend of... God, I forgot his name. I'm a piece of shit.
Edit this out.
Whatever. Some girls were reminiscing about the trap house and all the old school shit. And she goes, "Oh my God, do you remember Graffiti? I loved Graffiti."
I did too.
And I was like, "Yes, I remember Graffiti." And nobody has ever said that ever. Nobody's been like, do you remember Graffiti? It was my favorite place. It was always like, do you remember Graffiti and how ridiculous that place
Bro,
was?
some of the booths, that place was so funny. You go past like the Slurping Turtle or whatever,
Yep.
the ramen place, right? And then you go up one elevator to get in this place. Talk about a fire hazard. And then the elevator opens and it's like shitty ass cloth.
Yep.
I have just good memories. Yeah. And then the DJ booth was either in what I call like the pig pens, you know, like at fucking Federales in the West Loop. You're like in this pig pen, and like people are like, you're at the Indiana State Fair and everyone's coming around to be like, this is the fucking DJ. Wow, you know, like let me make fun of him like from a distance, or like let me make terrible requests.
Yeah, it's like a dunk booth that you're not like sitting in
booth.
with above water, you know, but it's like the same build.
It's not fun. It's I don't like, I like being on the stage, of course, but Graffiti was like, there was like a closet and they just took it and carved out more room and made it into a DJ booth. And you know what? It's one of those fucking DJ booths where they have one booth monitor that's absolutely blown out, but you just have to crank the shit out of it because it's the best you can do to have a good time sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks back on Graffiti positively, but it was one of the places where I remember saying, holy shit, I got a gig on Hubbard Street.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I mean, me too. I'm talking shit about it, but it was a place where I got booked and I was like, all right, like the dude Alex who owned it or ran it or whatever it was, like he fucked with me and he you know, was giving me opportunities and paying me money, so like I can't talk shit about that. And speaking of Rock City, I will say I remember seeing kind of how business is done in this world a little bit, hanging with him.
He was a smart guy. He had a fucking card. Like he was legit.
He's got money for a good reason. Like he knows what he's doing. He's a businessman for sure. And I remember being in Graffiti because he was homeboys with Alex. And I was with him, Dolo, and Jesse Seeley. We were all out together just fucking drinking and being DJs. And Rock, I remember Rock was like, watch this, I'm gonna get us all paid. Like I got us all. Because he was, you know, he was kind of the OG, showing us all what's good.
For sure.
And I remember him talking to Alex and being like, listen, why don't we do an event where we have all four of us? I'll do it with Jesse and Dolo and Strategy.
Yeah.
And we'll call it the Fantastic Four. He like painted this whole picture. He's like, we'll throw this party. It'll be sick. You'll have like four of the best DJs in the city. He's selling them. Yeah. And Alex did it. And I still remember the flyer. We put our faces on the Fantastic Four. Dolo was the girl.
I think I remember this, dude. Yes.
And like it obviously didn't become anything, but I kind of I had a little insight into how it works. You know, you're drinking, you're having fun, you're boozing, and then you give them an idea, throw them a little something, see how they feel. They're into it, pump it up, sell it. All right, let's get the budget up. Give us an extra $200. We could do this. You know, like it was dope.
Those are the guys, man. Dude, it was crazy to see Charles Brotinez, you know, the Trap House days, like them and Porn and Chicken, you know, they really had like a huge moment, like for a period of time. Honestly, I would call it more than a moment, but they were like running Chicago.
Fuck yeah.
The Mid on Mondays, Evil Olive. Like I remember there was a time too where I was willing to do pretty much anything to play the back room at Evil Olive.
Yeah.
You know, and I never forget about those days, that hunger that I had. You got to have that same level of hunger if you want to become something in the music industry and be consistent. And when I saw them, I just had so many memories, like just seeing them throw down. And trap music, it means so much to me. But actually, the craziest thing happened today. So you know Yellow Claw, right?
Yeah.
So they followed Hood Politics on Instagram today. And I am a huge Yellow Claw fan, but like going back and seeing the Trap House throw down these incredible sets and these amazing parties and people just going crazy, it just like really ignited this fire. And I feel like there are a lot of DJs today that are still really cool Chicago DJs, but I think that was a really incredible period of time for Chicago DJs in the open format world for people like you and I. They were innovators, bro.
Yeah. Because like I was never big into trap music at all, but it was kind of hot for a minute. Like EDM trap had
that time, 2015 to 2017.
Yeah. So you were downloading all that shit and playing all that shit in the club, all those remixes. They were remixing all the Migos songs into big room trap shit.
Yeah.
And like you'd play at the trap house, so you'd have to get your trap crates up and shit. And then it was such a lit party.
Such a lit party.
It was amazing. It was definitely awesome to be a part of that. I'm super thankful.
Man, the porn and chicken shit was really out of this world.
Porn and chicken was crazy. I don't think I ever played porn and chicken.
I didn't. That was. They had a really cool crew that they always sort of supported. So it wasn't like Trap House where it's like they're kind of looking for DJs and stuff. Yeah. Because they had a party brand. I mean, they were touring around the world at one point.
Yeah. You remember when they would do Take Your Shirt Off?
Yeah, of course.
That's so sick. See, like that doesn't exist right now that I know of, at least. I mean, does House Calls have like a moment in every night where they do something like that? Like,
no, I just think it's a different culture.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, though.
We got to bring that back. Like,
I like
moment.
shit like that.
Yeah.
That's why the Malort at my shows, having that moment with a fan, I really like doing that, because I think you do have to create those moments if you want to get people to give you a shot. Mm-hmm. You know, because everyone's on the come up until you're made, basically, and I think you become known for something that you do, whether it's like a big song that people always look forward to or a moment. That's what separates you as an artist or a performer or an entertainer. So actually, I'm working on a remix album for the Chicago Handshake song that I made with A Boy with a Bag, because it just had like this incredible story behind it. Like, the story behind the song is I interviewed Danny Deal live, who's the partner of Phi, who's in Porn and Chicken, who was the general manager of the Mid, just to give people some backstory, right?
Yeah.
So Danny is like an icon to me in many different ways, right? And she loves Malort, so I interviewed her live, and she basically had me do a Chicago Handshake during the middle of our interview. I was so nervous for this interview. It's fucking Danny Deal, you know? And I had a few drinks before because it was like a live show. There was people there, and I ripped the Chicago Handshake, and I just had this reaction where I was like, whoa. And she goes, it hits you about 3 to 5 seconds afterwards. And my buddy Sai was there. He said that audio is so good, we got to make a song. So it became the Chicago Handshake song. And now we want to pick it up to a 2024 version, get some people to remix, get like a UKG, get like a VIP, get like a bass house remix on it. So I'm really excited about that, because then that's moments within a moment that I can start to bring in my sets too. So
yeah,
it's cool.
Sick.
You never know what is going to come to you as well. Malort. I almost wore my Malort sweater here, but I didn't.
I kind of like I like what you're rocking.
I'm
a little jealous, to be honest.
Yeah, this actually is very Party with Strategy vibes. Isn't
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Want to trade? We traded hats at the Dick Bipper. I still want a Hood Politics hat.
I got you.
All right.
I got you. We got some more coming. I have a really sick one I want to give you. Actually, it's like sewn, stitched in, thick. Camo, nice, kind of like the hat you got on.
Yeah.
You'll love that.
All right, tight.
That was pretty funny, though, when we just switched hats. Did you see the video of me with it?
Yeah. You had my hat on in the video.
I know. And I watched the exchange. It was really funny. I got to tell you, bro, that was one of the most fun sets I've ever played, because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect.
It was, dude, that's what I like about that whole concept is like, we just want to create fun in that room, and it will translate onto the video, just because that's what happens when you're taping, you know what I mean? Like,
people want to be part of that.
Yeah.
And while you're there too, you know that's like the feeling. So it's really cool, because people are forced to be in the moment. And it's interesting when you're being filmed versus at a show where you're filming. I think there's a very modern day present, like, sort of nostalgia, if that makes sense, where you're like, wow, this is like a really cool moment. Like, I'm on camera, like, this is an upcoming artist, they're playing dope music, I'm with my friends, it's a Monday night, we're drinking Malort, like, I'm in a fucking pizza kitchen right now, right? Yeah. So it's kind of weird. I feel like you do have to, not all the time, but sort of force a current nostalgia on people, where it's like, hey, you need to be paying attention right now. Like, don't be looking at your phone, like, talking to people. Like, it was cool, bro. You watch the video, see everybody talking, you and I dancing, like, we're having a good time. Like, it's a really special thing you guys are doing with that. So props to you.
Thank you.
The Dig Bipper.
Thanks for being a part of it.
It's really hard to say.
It's a little tough to say, but it's definitely memorable.
What's the story?
Well, if you're watching and have no idea what we're talking about, you go to YouTube, you type in Dig Bipper, DIGBIPPER. It's the only thing that comes up, because
it's a very good point.
There's nothing else named that. And you could watch Propa's set and Sherm's set, which are both fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun. But yeah, I mean, me and Charles. So it really came about because the No Good Boys were shooting like their content, and they're like, yo, find us a spot in Chicago that would be cool to shoot a DJ set in. We'll announce that we're going to be there. We'll get our fans to come fill it up.
Yeah.
And then, we'll shoot it and be able to get the clips for it for content. And so we did that. I was like, I got a perfect spot. My boy owns a pizza spot. I hit up Charles. He's like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Sick.
No Good Boys come out. We do it. And Charles was like, yo, this is sick. Like, let's make this a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make this. He was highly impressed by Diamond Cut's setup and abilities, as everybody always is.
Looks so good.
Yeah. And so Charles was like, let's fucking make this a thing. Like, let's think of a name for it, this and that. And we each were like, well, all right, we'll think of 10 names. We'll reconvene in a couple days.
Yeah. I need to get you guys some names too. I have some ideas.
It's the Dig Bipper.
Not in the names for DJs.
What do
I
you
would
mean,
never rename it. I'm talking about DJs to come play that.
Yeah. So, the Dig Bipper was just a name. I'm sitting here stoned, just writing names down. And I'm thinking like the Big Dipper. I'm thinking of things that you could switch the first letters and it's like cool or funny or whatever.
Yeah,
and
I get
it
it.
just that came up and he liked it. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's obviously nothing else is named that. It makes you think. It breaks your brain a little bit. It like makes you double take.
It does. It's
like,
hard to forget.
Yeah. So my girlfriend absolutely hates it. But now, yeah, I have like a very strong, like that's the fuel to my fire. Like I need to make something out of it just to prove her wrong.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's healthy competition right there. I should have performed as Shat Merman. Because when you mix my name around, my real name is Matt Sherman, and it could be Shat Merman.
Yo, you should come up with a costume, like a character, Shat Merman, and do it as Shat Merman.
Damn, what kind of music do I play? Trap?
Funny, bro.
Shat Merman.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's amazing.
I love it, dude. It's so cool, and it's so Chicago. Like, everything about it, where it is, the place, the people. When the boxes started moving in the back during Propa's set, I'm like, is this real? Like, what is going on here?
So sick.
The vibes were so high, and, I mean, I was sweating fucking balls because I couldn't stop jumping and moving. And I was wearing a denim Malort onesie as well. That doesn't really help.
It was hot in there.
Not breathable. Mm-hmm. It was hot in there. But it was great, dude. You got fucking free drinks, good vibes.
It's tight. We're doing another one on the 25th.
Okay.
So
can you reveal who it is?
It's going to be Maximo Quinones.
The boy?
Absolutely. I just nail that every time. You don't know how to say it.
No, I don't even want to try after that. Quinones.
And Blackout.
Nice, Dave. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah. So if you want to pull up.
Yo, that's awesome, bro.
I wanted to ask you before we get too far off of it. You're talking about your DJ set and like paying homage to Chicago for teaching you how to DJ. When you do a set now, how much of your music is your music? Yeah. How much of the music you're playing is stuff that you made, whether it's a remix or an original, or I would even consider an edit?
Yeah.
Yours.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's not released to the public, right?
Yeah, it's got my name on there.
Yeah. What do you think it is between your tracks or somebody else's in a DJ set of yours?
So it definitely used to be a lot less. I think that was a confidence thing. And it doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the music. Like, as a creator, as an artist, you're always going to be your harshest critic. I can't tell you how many times over the past couple years I've had a Sherm song loaded up, even mixing it in. And I go, I can't.
You pull it back.
Because you're so scared to fail because it's your fault, right? You're like, I know a song that'll definitely work. And so I got over that, not by changing the quality of music, but by really starting to like remix songs and create songs that I know would work within my sets. For a while, I was just kind of making music and just seeing what happened, right? But I started collaborating with new people. And these collaborators are also really good DJs for the most part, or, you know, whoever they are. So some of the songs that I've released this year work very well in my sets. I would say at least 30% of my sets are Sherm music, and I mix them in like sandwiched. So it's kind of like a compliment sandwich where I'm like, nothing can go wrong if I play a great song and then I go into another song and it's a Sherm song in the middle. And I've found that's a great way for me to be really confident about playing my music. So I've been really loving, I played it, the Zach Brown Band Chicken Fried Edit. It's still confusing people, but I believe in the vision. And it's like country tech house. And I love it so much because I really love in my sets to play songs where I really, like, I know the words.
Yeah.
Because for a while, I felt like I had to be this underground tech house DJ. I don't know why. Because I like really wanted to play at Spy Bar too. And I was like, when you finally do, you're like, God, this 10 to 11 set sucks. I don't even know what to play. It's like so minimal. And like, I have a lot to say on that too, because I think there is a real art to being able to open a club, especially at a tech house or underground place, whatever it is. But now I've gotten to a level where it's a Sherm set. Even if I'm opening for somebody or closing for somebody, I still get to be me. And, you know, I'm honored to be able to play my music on amazing sound system. I think that's so cool about the day and time that we live in. Hearing how it sounds, testing it out, and just taking chances sometimes. And on the other side of that coin too, there's nothing more fulfilling than when you do play a song and it goes off and people are like, what the fuck was that? And you're like, that was my song.
I did that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did. You go, what is this? Yeah. And that night too, I said, I got nothing to lose. Like, I'm just recording a set here. You know, anything I share for the most part is going to be on my channel. I might as well play my own music. And I think I played 10 Sherm songs and there was like 25 songs. So it was so cool to be able to play all that music that I've released over the years too. And I don't do that enough. I have a Sherm playlist that I dip into more and more now where I just keep adding in music, and it's actually really cool for me to go back and listen to some songs that I made 5-6 years ago and then, you know, this year and hear the difference, but also how there's still a lot of the same influences, percussion, energy, whatever it is, because ultimately you just are going to continue to grow as an artist, especially as a producer, and you never know what's going to work, so just have fun with it, especially if you're going to play your own music.
Very exciting news. Brand new sponsor for the show. Shouts to Long Drink. They see the vision. If you guys like what's going on here, you got to go buy some Long Drink. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back. Check this out. All right, party people, you know how it is. Late nights, great music, and that perfect vibe. And what's a better way to elevate the night than with a refreshing drink in your hand? I'm talking about the Finnish Long Drink. If you haven't heard of it yet, the Long Drink is not just any drink. It's a legendary Finnish favorite that's been around since the 1952 Summer Games. It's a deliciously refreshing blend of premium liquor, natural grapefruit flavor, and just the right amount of carbonation. It's smooth, crisp, and perfect for any occasion, whether you're chilling with friends, getting the weekend started, or just winding down after a set. And the best part? It's super convenient. No need to be a mixologist. Just crack the can and you've got a perfectly mixed, ready to drink cocktail. Whether you're into the classic, zero, or strong, there's a Long Drink for everyone. So next time you're tuning into the show or spinning your own beats, grab a Long Drink and take your night to the next level, because good vibes deserve great drinks. Cheers to the perfect mix. Music and Long Drink. Let's go, champ. Let's get back to the show. Thank you guys for watching. Shouts to Long Drink. Make sure you go grab one. Peace. Yeah. So you think like 30% of your set is your songs?
I think so.
Is it the goal to make it 100?
No.
Like, would you one day want to be up there playing all your own shit?
I'm just not that type of DJ. I'm really not. I believe that I have a duty to expose people to music that they haven't heard and give them what they didn't know they wanted, as some of us say. And, you know, never forget who I am, bro. Like, I'm a Chicago DJ, and I throw fucking shit down from back in the day, from the future, from right now. I make you feel something. And I don't think I'll ever be the DJ that plays all my own music. Some of the DJs I really look up to are like Diplo. And he could easily play his own set, or that's all his music. But he doesn't, because he knows that there's hot shit out there that like he wants to play. Because I think too, you can't always play your own music. I don't want to say you get sick of it, but like, you don't always want to play the hits so much. So it depends on how much you tour and everything that goes along with that. But I don't ever see myself playing an entire set all Sherm music. I do see maybe tipping the scales to 50%, but I just love like finding new music, dude. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's exciting to me. And also playing my homies' music too. Like sometimes I like make fun of myself. I'm like I'm going to LA to play a show, and I'm opening for Jake Shore and Wookie.
I saw that Christmas thing, right?
Yeah, he does this like show every year called Wookmas, which is so funny. So it's like a huge Christmas theme party. It's so funny. And I texted him. I go, I'm not sure I can play the set, guys. Like, I'm not going to play a Jake Shore song or a Wookiee song. Like, I got no music. I'm fucked. So I always find like with these sets, I'm playing a Jake Shore track. I'm playing a Wookiee track. I'm playing a DJ Susan track. I'm definitely playing a proper track. And that's what's so fun too about the community is it's really incredible for me to know Jake, all these people on a personal level, and them send me their tracks and be like, let me know how this goes. And I'm like, it went really good. Like, that track is sick. I wish that was my track. But that's just the feeling behind it. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. It's my opinion.
That's tight. That's inspiring to hear you say that you want to educate people on music and show them stuff. And I'm trying to lean more into that. And I asked because like I came to this realization, I don't know, it's got to be at least 80% of working DJs right now, to me, feel like they're DJing as a means to make a living and also be in this music adjacent industry. Yeah. When really you're just in the nightlife industry.
And there is a difference.
But it's music adjacent. But they're working towards, I want to be a producer. I want to play my own music. I want to play festivals where I'm playing my shit. That's what it feels like most people are working towards. And then I'm talking to White Shadow on the pod, and he's like talking about how much he loves playing. He doesn't play his music at all. And this is a guy that has like a Grammy and fucking the most accolades that any musician or producer could have. He doesn't play any of his music. He's like, I don't want to play that. He's like, I want to play music that I fucking love and like that made me fall in love with music and brought me to create the music that I created. Like, I want to play people cool shit that we can bond over, in this different way. And that's sort of like, it made me realize like, oh shit, I think we're kind of missing that. Like being a DJ, people tell me, speaking of Maximo Quinones, he's always like, when are you going to make music? When are you going to make music? I'm like, I don't know that I want to make. Why can't I just be a DJ? Why do you have to be a DJ to get to the next level? Why do you have to become a producer? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just be a really dope DJ.
Yeah, for sure.
But people, that's overlooked at this moment, I think.
It is, and it'll come back around. I think what you are is a selector.
I think I used to be. Now I just play Justin Bieber and Katy Perry.
Yeah, just JVs, bro. I know. I think it is overlooked. I will say, like, from Max Quinones' perspective, that was pretty good. Yeah. In the house and techno world, there are a lot of really dope DJs, but they're OGs in the game, like guys like Joseph Capriati and Seth Troxler and even Marco Carolla. These guys are like, they've been in the game for like 20, 25 years. They're fucking just G's. They'll DJ until the day they're dead. Carl Cox even, he doesn't release that much music. Fuck Fisher, to be honest with you, dude. He releases like 3 or 4 tracks a year. But in the bigger world of dance music, the pop world, there's not a lot of Calvin Harris's, David Guetta's, Tiesto's, John Summit's, right? Like, there's just not. So when people say, I'm going to be the next one, I think you got to realize that is something that, sure, I love that people want to achieve that goal because you do need to be a producer. You do need to make your music. That's your brand. That's the thing you're trying to bring to the table. But we also live in a new world where you can bring an entertainment factor through your music no matter what. Like D Nice, right? He opened up at that charity event, right? Which was
Will Ferrell,
which was wild. That was wild. But he was killing it, bro. And like, he's been in the game. So it's like, if you're happy enough with the success level that you're at, and you're an amazing DJ and a good content creator like yourself, like, that's you. You don't have to make music to be successful as an artist, in my opinion. And I think great DJs too will always be respected by other DJs. Like there are also producers that are really good producers that are not good DJs, and I find it very, very hard for me to fully respect them if they don't know how to beat match or they can't feel the energy of a crowd. And I've gone back to back with these people, and I've seen them perform before, people I don't know as well, and we all know. All the DJs are back there. We're like, fuck, this set sucks.
But he makes dope music.
But they make dope music, and like I can't knock that, right? And that's why it's really hard to do both.
Yeah.
And that's why those names that I mentioned, Cascade too is another good example. They're really good DJs. Like you see them perform, they can play these 4 or 5 hour sets that are just like perfect. So I think, and this is something I've talked to Danny Deal about, is like I feel like right now there's something weird going on, and it'll fix itself. You're either a local DJ who's trying to figure it out, and you're trying to be David Guetta, or it's bust. What about the middle of the glacier, bro? Because the middle of the glacier is sick. That's where we're all at. Like, it's awesome. We're all homies. Like, there's not a lot of levels to this shit. And if there are, we don't look down. We don't look up. Like, we're all equal here. So it's like, where's the middle? I don't want to say middle class artists, but like,
I think that would be appropriate.
that's most of America. That's most of the world.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why can't we continue? And that's part of Chicago Music Nexus. It's like, you either think you're too hot and you're not, or you think that you can't be like that and you're afraid to really go outside of your comfort zone, whatever it is. So I think that things are gonna fix themselves. We'll see how long that takes, but it's gonna take through people listening to conversations like this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's tight. I forgot you were at the White Shadow event, or the Will Ferrell event, sorry. You saw Pritzker get booed?
Dude. Booed. And I thought Chicago people like him for the most part. No. He got booed. His response was pretty funny though.
Yeah,
he was like, with a 52% approval rating and XYZ laws passed in the state of Illinois. I was like, yo, like he comes up there, he looks like fucking a Chicago cop, you know, in like his black leather jacket, like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing himself any favors. But thank God for Will Ferrell for coming up there and going, boo, cancer. Yeah, boo, we hate cancer. I was like, yeah.
That's how you know. That's why that motherfucker's so funny and famous. Is like, that's how quick he is on his feet.
He's witty.
I probably would have started sweating and been like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah, this is awkward because there's 15,000 people booing the governor that I invited up here. And if the governor would have known better, you're probably like, they're going to boo me. Like, it's not good
why
for
would
me.
he ever do that? That's a terrible idea.
Known, dude.
Yeah. Horrible idea.
I have a video of that. I was thinking about posting it. And
you for sure should. And you should DM it to Secret Chicago, and they should post it, and it should go viral.
Okay. Yeah, right. Done deal. I'll do it on my way out. Yeah. It was fucking awesome, though. I did think that was a cool event. It was like a variety show. I've never been to a concert like that where it's like 15, 20-minute just hitter sets. And I've been drinking that whole day, actually, because it was my buddy's wedding the day before, so we had a bunch of homies in town. And I mean, I bought as many as Modelo's as we could get with the group, and we were just hanging out there getting hammered. I had so much fun.
It was really fun. I don't go to a lot of shows, so I don't know, like, I couldn't tell you like, oh, this was so much different than any other show. Like, which obviously it seemed that way, but like now that you're saying it, it's confirmation. Like, it was cool the way that it was set up.
I mean, I thought it was unique. I think people were a little confused, obviously, but like I went in with an open mind, and I was like, in my eyes, I see Swedish House Mafia and Will Ferrell on the stage together, and I'm like laughing at that because like that's just absurd. That's crazy. So I thought it was really cool though. But my wife was like, I didn't enjoy that. I was like,
she didn't like it.
She just was like, what was that? And I was like, exactly.
It's like hard to even enjoy because you're trying to figure it out.
She was trying to figure it out too much, and I was like, our whole group was like, yeah, I kind of fuck with it. Like, 20-minute Henry Fong set, just blaring it, and then we go into D-Nice throwbacks, and then it's like, I think it was Will Ferrell's son and his frat brothers.
Linked up, get linked, something like that.
I don't know, but they were just playing funny ass like house music, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So
they were a good time. They had their costumes on.
Yeah, the costumes on. Yeah, Will's out there. He's in like that outfit that he went viral in that USC video for. What a guy, dude. I love Will Ferrell. He's an icon of our generation. I hope he lives forever.
Yeah. That was super tight. I've never been like an artist on a bill like that before, and
Yeah.
I had like
I was so impressed.
I'm going to get tacos in the cafeteria thing, and Henry Fong's just in there eating and shit. I'm like, this is crazy.
Did you get
This
to
is
meet
sick.
Will? Did you see him?
I saw him.
That's cool
But I
enough,
didn't want to
yeah.
be the guy.
Yeah.
I even like, it was so new to me. Like I saw Twista was
Yeah,
walking
Twista,
by
right? I forgot
and
about
shit,
Twista.
and like,
Comes on, just does one verse.
yeah, and I don't want to be a hater or anything, but I mean, he wasn't even rapping on beat.
No, he
and he was out
wasn't.
of breath. I
wasn't.
think from the stairs.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Twista, absolute Chicago fucking legend.
Yeah,
and
of course.
he should. I don't even care if he didn't rap. Just
Yeah.
him play the song and let him be on stage, and we can look at him through
That
the
would've been
duration
cool
of the
enough.
song.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine. I felt a little bad for him up there. I'm like, he's old and like struggling.
He didn't get up the stairs very well. Yeah. Wasn't that many stairs. Oh my god. If you ever like seen these really famous people, like just even like even when I go to like NBA games, there's a big difference between sitting in like 200 and like low level 100 because you see them, right? And you realize from many different perspectives, one, that like there is something different about them, but also like, okay, they're right there, like they're people too. But when you see, I've never seen Will Ferrell up close, but just to see him like that, I was like, there he is. I've seen his movies, Saturday Night Live. I've known this guy my entire life, and there he is standing right there with Swedish House Mafia. So it was cool. It was like I won't call it a full circle moment, but it was a unique moment that I'll tell my grandkids about.
Yeah, it was dope, and I hope they continue to do it. I mean, White Shadow said as long as they like raise enough money for the Cancer Foundation, like they're good to go for next year and shit. So
Why not?
hope it keeps going. Should be tight.
That's sick.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah, bro.
I was sitting right in that chair where Diamond Cut's sitting right now,
Okay.
and I was watching your podcast with Jake Shore,
Okay.
and then it disappeared.
Disappeared.
It like got deleted or something. I couldn't find it.
Did it?
Something happened with
On
it.
YouTube?
Yeah. I was watching it, and then I stopped to go masturbate. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I left to go do something else, and I came back, and I couldn't find it. Now, maybe my shit was fucked up. Maybe I was too high. I don't know. But I thought maybe there was something in there that you guys talked about that he didn't want up there, so you had to delete it. I was
Did
just
it
curious.
like? Is it the whole episode,
or
or just a part? Did it like skip or something?
I couldn't find it once I watched it the first time.
Yeah, it's not on there.
I'm looking at it right here. This one?
But is that through YouTube app or through the?
Yeah.
Because the last one is Sherm 1-on-1 with Sherm Live.
SITB 235 featuring Jake Shore 3 months ago. Go to 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
You got it?
I got it.
All right. It's a fuck up on my end.
Do you think there was something cut?
I mean, I wanted to know if you had to cut something out or
The
something.
conspiracy
Yeah,
theories.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
did it get deleted?
Cameras on, lights are bright. We did have to cut some stuff from that episode.
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
What? Obviously, don't
We
say
kind
what
of
you cut, but
we
what?
kind of went on a little rant about frustrations about the music industry at large, particularly like clubs. And you know what's crazy, actually? So we did share this clip, and it still is getting plays. It's still getting comments, and there's been so much hate from DJs. It's actually hilarious. Here, let me find it for us.
Pull her up.
See how many fucking views it's at.
Are we gonna have to delete this off of this episode?
Hell
No. Dude, it's got 130,000 views, right? And it's pretty simple.
An hour and a half, 128 tech house set anymore.
Here's why your DJ sets aren't working anymore,
I
right?
don't think you've seen one of my most recent sets.
I remember he's talking about doing
He's
UK
just talking
garage
about
and shit.
he's just talking about like you can't just go up and play like 128 BPM tech house the whole time. And I think you definitely used to. I'm in agreement. It goes back into what we were talking about, and people been going bonkers on this, bro.
Saying like "fuck you," I do
Saying
that every
like
weekend.
you're a wedding DJ. How'd you go from 133 to 170? Welcome to the jungle, bro. 30 years later, been doing this forever, and you start clicking on these people, and it's so funny. Like this guy, Patrick MBM. Haha, I'm just curious. So you're an entertainer? Because the way you just described yourself doesn't sound like an actual DJ and producer. Jake Shore comments with a gif of The Rock going like this. And you like click on these people and they're like private profiles, 65 followers. So I've had like some clips go viral and stuff, but nothing that's like, I don't feel like that's very controversial, to be honest.
Not even a little bit.
Apparently it is, because people been fucking going bonkers, and it's all just fucking these dudes who are just clearly strung out and frustrated. I'm like, do you see like who Jake and I are? Like, we're trying to have like a productive conversation here, actually. And Jake was like, I knew that was going to go off. And I was like, I had no idea. I'm like, how do I turn off comments? Because it's so annoying. People still, it's 3 months ago, dude.
Yeah.
So
that, for me, that's what makes anything that does well on my Instagram is that,
I know.
The haters.
It's
the topics.
A little frustrating.
Yeah. I kind of love it.
I love it,
I've
but it's
always
also
kind of
like,
been that way.
you said it to me earlier, bro. Like, I try and do good.
Yeah.
And that doesn't do well. It just doesn't do well. Like, you want to talk about nice guys finishing last? That's the content world. Nobody gives a fuck about the value I'm trying to provide sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that can be a very disheartening part about being content creator, is like, I feel like I try to do good and I put a lot of effort into doing good. And when you put that content out, you go, I love that post I just made. You look an hour later, 140 views and you're like, God, Instagram is out to get me.
Yeah.
And then I do something like that where it's like, here's why your DJ sets aren't working anymore. Even though we're talking about like, here's how they could work. People, it's clickbait. So it is what it is. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm still proud of the content I put out no matter what, because I believe the content you put out is for you. It needs to be for you. And then whoever that might resonate with, it'll work. So it's like, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I had more followers. Man, I wish all these clips got a lot more feedback or virality or whatever. But sometimes the ones that do, you don't expect. And you just got to have fun with it anyway. So, but yeah, Jake, we talked about it afterwards. I was like, we said some specific names and we probably should cut some of that stuff out. He's like, yeah.
Names of clubs, right?
Clubs. It wasn't like today necessarily. It was like things we experienced in the early days. And, Jake and I's story is interesting. He was like a different version of himself back in the day.
I was talking shit about him on a pod with Dustin.
It was like him and his boy Shane, who's a good friend of mine now too, actually. They all switched. And it was when they were doing the Caliago shit, and he was like, this fucking party boy, all that stuff. And like they were like super rude to me a few times. Like I remember one time I played Parlay, and this was another time where I was like, it's my first time playing Parlay. I think I played 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I got up on the side of the table playing like some Alesso with like all my friends, having the time of my life, bro. Like I'm playing at Parlay, like we did it. Yeah. He comes up, he goes, get the fuck out of the booth.
No way.
And I'm like, excuse me?
No way.
Yeah, something like that. And then COVID happens, and then he resets and gets sober, and then starts reaching out to me, and he like really wants to come on the podcast. And I told him about some of these things, like how he treated me, and he was like, I'm really sorry. Like I regret all of those things. He came clean, and we reconnected and became friends in like 2021, and we've been good friends ever since. So he's a really good story in the sense where it's like, he's someone that I truly did not like. I was like, I give everybody a chance, but like, who do you think you are? Like, you're playing 11-1 at Parlay, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
now to see what he's doing, and the energy that he brings, and the lifestyle that he has, and the clarity that he has on a daily basis is impressive. So it's cool to see, but like, yeah, we were talking shit. And I was like,
I really want to get him on the pod. I was talking to him. He's coming back here in December. Hopefully we'll make it happen.
Oh, you got to. That'd be a good one.
I want to do Dig Bipper and the pod.
Oh, he'll do that?
Dude, would be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was talking like he was just a young, drunk party boy, like fuck boy kind of,
literally he was
fighting
like,
with
from
his
Chicago,
girl in the
like
club.
Cubs fan, like all, like he had it all in his eyes,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And he came to realize that that's actually, there's nothing fruitful or worthwhile or good about that.
It's awesome that he has grown. I mean, that's the sign of a good human being, you know what I mean?
And he likes to be reminded of that even sometimes still, like it's interesting. It's like it's not like a toxic relationship, but like there's a lot of tension in his life then that he didn't even realize, because he was just sort of like covering himself in a mold of like alcohol and DJing and fucking nightlife, and it's like, that's not sustainable. So I'm his number one fan, literally, and it's so sick to see what he's doing.
Yeah, I fucking love his records. I can't wait for him and Propa's shit to drop. So good.
Dude.
So good.
I told Jonah after the set, I go, I don't usually, like, not saying I'm like the world's best DJ, but I'm never really like, oh wow, like I gotta learn some new tricks usually. I literally like walked away. I drove home that night, no music, just like sort of thought to myself, I was like, I fucking suck.
I felt that way a little bit too, I'll be honest with you.
I was like, he just played all his own music. He just mixed all those tracks to perfection.
Yes. With like
right, Diamond Cut? I mean, he was on one.
With like crazy style, looping and rolling and fucking fader rocking and like, dude.
I was tripping.
Extremely impressed. His music's obviously the shit, but then when he was able to DJ at the level that he was doing it, that's when I was like, oh, that's why fucking Tiesto's in his DMs and commenting on his shit. Like it's
happening.
Yeah.
I know. I'm very proud of him, and he deserves it because he's been grinding for a long time. I had a good conversation with him. I think it was a year and a half ago. DJ Susan was in town. We were playing at Soundbar, and Jonah came out and partied with us. He kind of got out of his shell a little bit, and we were hanging out in my apartment till like 7 a.m, like smoking, chilling, drinking, and he kind of just started not complaining, but like sharing some grievances he had about the industry at large, and we were like, that doesn't have to be you, bro. Like, you're holding yourself back. Like, you're literally one of our favorite producers. Like, just start putting your music out. Like, why don't you release on Hood Politics? And he reaches out to me and Sue all the time and says how much, like, that belief in him changed his perspective. And for that song Work, that remix to be going off right now on Hood Poly, it's like, I mean, I really mean it when I say I think it's one of the hottest tracks in the world, like, in dance music at least. Like, the names that are playing this track and where they're playing it, I mean, you say Alesso, Tiesto, and Diplo in the same sentence with one track, it's like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
So, yeah, and how that track happened was they were all in town for North Coast. We did a Hood Politics takeover, and they all just were hanging out at Propa's on a Monday night and just started making a track and sent it to me like on Wednesday and was like, yo, can we drop this tomorrow? I was like, fuck yeah, we can. Like, of course, this is sick. And you never really know what's going to happen with a track like that. Like, to be honest with you, I think what it is the bar for Propa and Rich Diets and Smith and Soren is so high for me, where it's like, I guess it's hard for me to be really impressed because the bar is so high. And sometimes, as an A&R, I listen to so much good music and also so much bad music, rarely in between, to be honest with you. They sent me that, I go, this will do well. Didn't think, oh, this is going to fucking blow up. So it's been a cool experience for me to be like, I need to listen to music a little more differently.
Yeah. Oh, well, now that you say that, I couldn't even imagine having that job. Like, because there's
tough.
like my brother sends me music all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just not in the headspace to hear something in the way that it needs to be heard.
That's a really good point.
And I'll listen to it and I'll be like, like whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's on his playlist, right? And then I'm in the gym just listening to his playlist, and that song will come on, and I'm like, holy shit!
Yep.
Like, this just changed my life. What is this? I'll be like, yo, this is crazy. He's like, I sent that to you 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready to hear it then. You know, like.
Yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes people. I think as a label, you do need to give a song some time. Like, sleep on it, I think, is a real thing with A&Ring. So how it works is, like, we have like a team. A lot of tracks get sent to us. We have a track stack. Like, if anybody wants to submit to Hood Politics, it's tstack.app/hoodpoliticsrecords.com. You go in there. It's a great app. We listen to music through there. And then I basically am like the filter of what like makes it. And then I'll send like the best of the best to DJ Susan for him to review. And we'll go back and forth on, where did you listen to this? When did you listen to this? Did you play it out? How did it feel? Like, we might listen to a track for 2 weeks. I was just on the way over here listening to demos that I just sent him today, because I was like, let me hear how it sounds as my mom's 2016 Honda Pilot, you know? And some songs sounded really fucking good. And I like, when I sent it to him originally, I was like, this is all right, but I'm going to send it to him. So I have to find ways, like when I'm receiving music, which is usually sitting at a desk with a laptop, which I don't believe is the best way to listen to music personally, right? The gym, driving, live, obviously. So I have to sort of tap into like a new level of, there's listening and there's hearing, right? Like, are you listening to me? Did you hear me? You know, I feel like there's differences there.
100%.
So I really try and really like, I'm listening. I'm hearing what this could be in this scenario. Testing it out as a whole thing too, of course. And we're lucky enough, our audio engineer, Justin Sansis, who used to be a big open format DJ in Chicago.
Yeah,
Sansis.
why do I know that name?
Sansis. Yeah.
I don't want to be rude here, but he was like a bigger, bigger dude.
Yeah, fattest ass, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I do remember that kid. Now
He's
that
a
you
good
say
guy.
his name, yeah.
Does
he wear like a headband?
Yeah,
He's a headband guy.
He was
right?
wearing a Jimmy John's visor for a long time.
Yes, dude.
Yes, great DJ, awesome
Where did he
producer.
used to play?
He used to play at like Tunnel and
dude.
What's that place on Lincoln? Used to be the spot, bro.
It was Max Bar.
Max Bar.
Now it's Never Have I Ever.
Yeah, no, it's not Max Bar. There was
LA Social was next
Social.
to it. Yeah.
Yep. He used to play there, and he like was playing there at like 20 years old. Like he headlined Tunnel at 20 years old. And
well, I mean, he knows Riz, and Riz will let a 20-year-old headline for no dollars, so I'm not surprised at that.
Exactly.
No,
so he had like a really quick come up, incredible producer, even better audio engineer. So he is our mix and master audio engineer. So
Dope.
Everything that gets sent to him, he'll give it pretty critical feedback. He mixes and masters it ourselves. And what we put out to the world is because of him at that quality. So there's a whole aspect there where I have to hear a song and know that there's more we could get out of it too. Because some songs we get and they're ready to go, boom, I could upload this today. And there's other songs where I'm like, we got to do some critical feedback here. Like this needs that. We need to change this. We need a new vocal, whatever it is. So that's the most fun part for me, is seeing what a track could become. And then when it does become something, it's like, fuck yes, it worked.
Is there ever a situation where someone gives you a song and you want to put it out, and then you give it to him and he tweaks it, but the original guy is like, no, I don't like it sounding like that. I want it to sound like what I gave it to you.
It's definitely happened. I would say for the most part, they're like, wow, this sounds a lot better, because he does analog mix and mastering, so it feels very real. And it definitely has happened where they're like, because that's the crazy thing too. A lot of people don't understand this, but a track, even if it's perfectly done, mixed and mastered, there's another level to the creative process. And I did an interview with him on my podcast for anyone's interested in learning more about this. There's a little bit of cherry on top with some fucking sprinkles and, frosting that you need. And that's him. So people out there need to understand, like, there's another level. You also don't need to be perfect at all that stuff too. I'm not very good at mixing, but I get the ideas down. I get it to a point where it makes sense, maybe 75, 80%. Send it to him. He gives me some more feedback. Get it to him at 90%, finishes it, and mixes and masters it. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do it all on your own. And I think a lot of people think they do, and they don't.
Yeah. That's a fucking insane art form, mixing and mastering. Like,
bro, it's nuts.
I've taken, like, I'll make hip hop beats and, flip samples on an MPC, whatever, fuck around. And like, I've taken what I've made to my boy Silas, Mr. E's, one half of No Good.
Nice.
And like, he's playing it, I'm in the studio, he's playing my shit, and I hear it, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I made. And then he fucks around with it. And it literally goes from me feeling like I'm just on top of this waveform to then swimming in it. Now I'm like swimming through it. It's surrounding me. Like,
you ain't boogie boarding, bro.
Completely changes the whole thing just by mixing and mastering.
Yeah.
Or mixing even. I don't even know if he's mastering. He's just like mixing. He's tweaking shit.
Yeah.
Bringing this up, bringing this down, switching this over here.
That shit's crazy to me. It's honestly crazy to me. But I think there's no shame in getting help from people like him, because you need another ear on it, in my opinion, too. That's why I like collaborating a lot. I've never really been great at starting tracks, but because I started as a DJ, I know what a track needs to be at the end of the day in order for it to do well. So finishing tracks is like, I hear something and I go, I know exactly what needs to happen here. So I'm humble about that. And a lot of people, even Jake, he tells me this. He goes, you need to make more tracks on your own. And I go, honestly, maybe that's true. But, and I don't, it's not as fun. It's not as fun for me.
It is really fun to collaborate and just be
dude.
with people and whatever. But why does he say that? Like, does he give you a reason?
Because he has a different mindset for me about that. I take a lot of his advice. I take all of his advice seriously. But I think that when people, you need to know that, like, and Jake just talked about this on a podcast recently too, like, you are you. You are the cell. Like, you are the artist. So that's his perception, is like, if it's a Jake Shore track, it needs to be Jake Shore that made it, featuring this artist who makes it that much better. So he works with like a lot of Chicago rappers like Rocky Fresh and Fireman and shit,
It's
right?
one of my favorite tracks, bro.
Dude, it's so sick.
I love that shit.
So, and I think that's his style, you know? But I think what's cool for me is when I make these tracks with people, a lot of times they send me ideas and I can just turn it around a lot quicker. So I want to be productive and efficient. And I work on music on my own too, of course, but it just takes me a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love, just to get back to Jake, now that you brought him up, I forgot to say this. I wanted to say this. I love that he reps Chicago the way that he does.
He does.
Because like Juice, who you met last time when you were coming here, dude, just the way that he repped Chicago, there wasn't a song on it. You go through every single song on his album, there's a fucking line in every single one of them. At least.
Yeah.
Most of them have like 30 lines about it, but at least one.
Yeah.
Talking something about Chicago.
Yeah.
And that just gave me so much love and pride for the city that I'm in. Like, it's
100%.
part of the reason that I love Chicago so much is listening to Chicago hip hop and them talking about it and like being able to relate to it and like just repping Chicago and being proud of it. And
totally
Jake does
agree.
that well, and I love that about him so much.
He does. He wears Chicago on his sleeve. He never forgets where he came from. And I have to remind a lot of artists here all the time. They're like, man, I can't wait to get out of here. I'm like, why? Do you have any idea how sick this city is and how much opportunity there is and how many amazing artists there are? I think I have 6 or 7 songs with the name Chicago in it too. So like, I think I said recently, I was like, I need to take a break from Chicago tracks, but it's like Frank Sinatra's Chicago remix, No Tomorrow in Chicago, Chicago Handshake. It's like, I can't stop, but it's like, I love this place so much. I'm not originally from here. I'm from Indianapolis, and it's just a totally different experience. So like, what this city has given me is just endless amounts of inspiration and love, and I try and give it back. But Jake does a really good job of it too.
Yeah, I love that. We need that, because I even talked to Juice about this on the pod. Like, I don't feel like anybody's doing that right now in hip hop, in Chicago hip hop. And granted, I'm not like listening to the Chicago drill shit. I do love Polo G. A lot of his shit is really dope. He is lyrical. His flow is sick. But I'm not listening to his whole album just from the songs that I know. He's not like really repping Chicago like that. Like, obviously he's not scared to say he's from here, but like he's not doing it in the way that I'm used to it. And there's that void for me. And Jake fills that a little bit. Pause. Dude. Big pause.
Yeah, straight up. I want to see fucking on, 9094, like, there's like little Dirk signs or something, like just random rappers. I want it to be a Jake Shore sign one time.
That would be
I could
sick,
see that
dude.
For sure. That's when you're fucking making it in Chicago and you goddamn got your name on a fucking advertisement on the highway.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
I think that Hood Politics should pay for it.
I'm down. Yeah, we're making a lot of money. Giving away all our music for free. Yeah, it's going great. We do got merch that we're dropping though, so make sure to go buy that shit.
Sick.
So I can get my name on a billboard.
A new drop coming out?
We just did one. We did a capsule of San Diego. It was really sick, bro. They were like the old school San Diego Chargers, and we made it like Hood Politics. We had cutoffs. We got the hats are still available actually, but I want to get you one. And then we're gonna do some All Stars one. We're gonna throw it back. We're gonna have drop shipping, so people can go to our website and order all of the old school stuff: Chicago All Stars, the Hood Politics All Stars, Black Panther, Hood Poly Miami. We're gonna do a Denver one. We're gonna do all the cities that show us love. New York City as well too. So we have some really cool things in the works.
Hell yeah!
It's hard to build a business out of a label, bro. Like, it's not a money maker, but it is a passion project.
And I think at some point it will make money, because like if you're doing it for the money, I don't feel like that's sustainable unless you're like fucking making screws in a factory that are gonna whatever. I don't know. There's businesses where you can get into for money and like you could be successful.
Yeah, no, record labels,
something like
takes
this
a long time. You got to cultivate a fan base, and that takes a long time. It takes years of building trust with consistent quality of music. So I think Hood Poly just turned 7. So I've been in since right before the 5-year mark. So looking forward to seeing the 10-year mark. And I think when we're there, a lot of things will make sense.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Sick.
You said you had to dip at a certain time, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, anytime in the next 5 minutes. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we wrap it? Is there anything else you want to plug?
No, bro. This has been so much fun. Like,
Always, dude.
I love hanging out with you, bro. And, you know, again, you're one of these DJs that I look up to. Like, seeing you kill it all those years and now being more closely connected to you is a really dope thing. And, again, like, someone who's been doing a podcast for a long time is a lot of fucking work. But how much do you enjoy it? Like, do you love this shit?
I fucking love it, bro.
Yeah.
We normally film on Mondays, and it is my most favorite day to wake up. I wake up early on Monday.
Yeah.
It's the only day I wake up early. And I'm excited.
Yeah.
And like, it's so much fun, dude. And it's
Yeah.
a break from everything else because you're sitting in a room just locked in with someone. I'm not on my phone, not thinking about other shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it really is fucking therapy. It's crazy.
It is. It's so much fun. And that's the thing too. Like, you get better and better at these little conversations too. Like, we didn't really have anything prepared. I just sat down and started talking.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny when you're not podcasting and then you're having a conversation with someone. You're like, wow, this would be a really good podcast. We're podcasting right now. So it's a good time. But dude, a lot of respect to you. I'm super excited for you to see Nexus on Saturday as well.
I'm pumped.
You're gonna be proud, and Propa's gonna be spinning. We got open bar, free food. It's gonna be the who's who of Chicago music industry. It's gonna be sick.
Make me one promise.
Yeah.
If you see me in there
Okay.
with any Professor Pizza in my hand, you'll slap it out of my hand.
No, why would I do that, bro?
I had some yesterday. We went and shot a pod with him at the spot yesterday.
You did.
I had it. I did it.
So good.
It's amazing. But I'm trying to be, I got Cabo, dog.
To bring it full circle.
I got Cabo coming up, all right? If you see me in there with
Yeah.
any pizza anywhere near me, I need you to promise me that you'll step in.
I promise.
All right.
I'll take it out of your hand and eat it myself
Thank you.
because I deserve that shit.
Yeah.
This has been awesome, bro.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, algorithm activating activity. Let's go, champ. We'll see you next time. Patreon.com/partywithstrategy for more bonus episodes every single week. $5 a month. Best deal you can get.
Yeah.
We're back.
It's a great deal. Good algorithm activation right there. You do
Yeah.
got to say that shit, don't you?
Yeah.
Forgot.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.